5 types of people to avoid as you get older. As we get older, relationships become more important. One person's words can change your mood for the day. One person's attitude can change the direction of your life. Today, I'll talk about 5 types of people you should avoid as you get older. Once you recognize these types, you can start distancing yourself from those who unknowingly drain your energy. 1. Self-centered person. Self-centered people always prioritize their own wants and needs. They don't consider others' emotions or needs. They use relationships for their own benefit. Being with them feels exhausting and draining. They focus only on themselves. They ignore the feelings of others. Their conversations are one-sided, always about their own issues. At first, you might tolerate it, but over time, you'll feel the strain. Their selfishness becomes more apparent. The relationship becomes tiring. These kinds of relationships rarely last. They drain your energy and leave you exhausted. Distance yourself from people like this. Surround yourself with those who respect you. Relationships should be mutual, not one-sided. Choose people who lift you up, not take from you. 2. Negative people. Some people always find something to complain about. No matter the situation, they focus on what's wrong. They see problems everywhere. They rarely seek solutions. At first, you might feel sympathy. You might try to comfort them. But over time, you start to feel heavy after every conversation. Their negativity seeps into your mood. Their constant complaints drain your energy. You try to offer hope, but they shut it down. You try to suggest a solution, but they ignore it. Eventually, you start to avoid them. And that's okay, because their mindset can become your mindset. The more you're around negativity, the harder it is to stay positive. You may find yourself becoming more pessimistic. You may feel less motivated about your own life. Negativity is contagious, and it grows silently. Sometimes it disguises itself as realism. But realism without hope is just another name for fear. You don't have to carry their weight. You're allowed to protect your peace. You're allowed to walk away from draining conversations. You're allowed to say, I don't want this energy in my life. You can support someone without syncing with them. You can care about someone from a distance. Your mental health matters. Your joy matters. You deserve people who uplift you, who speak with hope, who believe in better days. Choose people who remind you that light still exists. Because in this life, you need strength, not just survival. You need people who don't pull you down when you're already tired. And most of all, you need space to breathe again. 3. Overly competitive people. Competition can help us grow. But when it becomes everything, relationships start to suffer. Some people compare themselves constantly. They always want to win. They turn every moment into a contest. Even during happy times, they feel jealousy first, not joy. They can't celebrate others' success. Because your win feels like their loss. When you're doing well, they feel threatened. When you're struggling, they feel superior. You can't relax around them. You hide your joy. You hide your pain. Success feels like pressure. Failure feels like shame. You start asking yourself, am I enough? Do I need to do more? You push yourself too hard. Not for your own goals, but to prove your worth. That's not healthy growth. That's emotional exhaustion. Friends aren't rivals. They should celebrate with you, not compete with you. True relationships allow space, different paces, different paths. Still, you cheer each other on. In extreme competition, there's no joy in connection. Every conversation feels like a scorecard. Every decision feels like a performance. And you begin to change. You try to impress. You try to prove. But your worth doesn't come from comparison. It comes from being you. Real friends rise together. They don't try to stand alone at the top. If someone always tries to outshine you, your heart will feel lonely. You can't always avoid competition, but you can choose who you grow with. Choose people Who lift you up? Who clap when you win? Who sit beside you when you fall? Choose support, not silent rivalry. 4. People who criticize everything. Critical people always find something wrong. Their words rarely uplift. They constantly point out flaws. No matter what you share, they respond with, "Why did you do it like that? That's not the right way." They act like they have all the answers, but they ignore their own faults. They don't reflect on their own behavior. They focus only on what others do wrong. At first, their words may seem like advice. They say, "I'm just trying to help." But over time, you realize the truth. It's not about helping you. It's about making themselves feel superior. Hearing constant criticism wears you down. You start to doubt yourself. You feel like everything you do is wrong. You become quieter. You hesitate to speak. You second-guess every decision. Worst of all, their voice starts to live in your head. Even when you're alone, you hear their judgment in your mind. You stop expressing yourself. You stop trying new things. You start living small, just to avoid being judged. Not all criticism is helpful. Some of it is poison. And it kills your confidence slowly. Healthy relationships include support and kindness. Even correction can be gentle. Real care comes with trust, not fear. When you're with someone who only criticizes, you can't grow. You live defensively. You forget how to believe in yourself. You deserve to be accepted as you are. You deserve space to make mistakes. You deserve people who see your efforts, not just your flaws. If someone makes you shrink yourself, take a step back. Choose distance over damage. You don't need to fix yourself to be enough. You need people who remind you, you're already worthy. 5. People who use others. People who use others only keep relationships when it benefits them. They come to you only when they need something. When they don't need you, they cut off the relationship. They don't build true friendships. They are just using you. Maintaining these relationships doesn't help you. It drains your energy. As you get older, you can't afford to waste time on these relationships. They only care about their own interests. They ignore your feelings and needs. They form relationships with conditions. They contact you only when they need something, and ignore you the rest of the time. Such relationships get uncomfortable over time. Helping them starts to feel like an obligation. When they need something, it feels like a duty. Staying in these relationships brings no positive impact. They waste your time and emotions. True relationships are based on mutual respect. These draining relationships should be avoided. Distance yourself from them. Spend time with those who respect you. As you get older, you need to be more careful about the people you surround yourself with. Relationships with people who respect you and give you positive energy are important. There's no need for relationships that drain your energy anymore. True relationships start with mutual help and respect for each other. So, for yourself, spend more time with people who care for you, always supporting the team. Thank you for watching.